How are we doing, guys? As you can probably make out, I'm out on the bank fishing, not catching on this occasion, so I thought this would be the perfect time to talk you through my entire carp fishing setup. I'm going to answer all the questions in this one video, the rods I use, the alarms I use, the bivvies, beds, tackle bags, everything you need to know about the gear I'm using is all going to be stated in this video. Now, I've been using it for the last 4 or 5 years without really the need to change anything, so it's all stuff I recommend. Let's get on with it. Let's start off with my bivvy. So I'm using the Titan Hide Camo Pro XL. I used to use the standard size, but I upgraded to the XL because I like to have that little bit more space inside the bivvy, which I'm going to show you in a minute. It comes with the 4 vents around the side. They're mozzie mesh covered, so you can unzip them like I've got now, and you can have the nice bit of light coming into your bivvy and the airflow passing through in the summer as well. It's a really strong, rigid, compact and lightweight bivvy, and you've got the option to take the sides off and have it really nice and open in the summer, or you can use the mozzie or waterproof infill. Now, if you actually step into the bivvy, you can see just how much room I've got inside there. I'm using a Scope Ops 4-fold sleep system, which slots nicely at the back of the bivvy. And again, this bed chair is lightweight, compactable, and warm enough for pretty much any weather, unless you go into -3s and 4s, which is, you know, you're a bit of a nutter at that point. Moving on to rucksack, I use the Deploy rucksack. Now, it's really hard case, this is the newer version, and it opens up into 4 separate compartments. It's great for me because I've got my subterfuge workbox in there, I've got my 5-litre bucket, I've got all my alarms, I've got all my hook baits, so that rucksack is perfect for me. It's relatively big, but you know, it's compact enough to carry it around easily, and you can fit all of your gear inside there. You can also add these expansion packs on top. Sometimes I put food in there. On this occasion, I've got random stuff, my wallet, marker floats, spoms, carp care, scales, spare leads, PVA. So these can make the rucksack even larger than it is already. Moving on, cook bag. I like to use this subterfuge. There's 2 in the range. This is the larger of the 2. Again, hard case on the top, really handy. When you're sitting in your bed chair, you've got this space to put stuff on top of. You've got the foil lined section to keep your food nice and cold, and then you've got the standard section for your gas, your pans, your pots and all that type of stuff. Moving on, a little bit cluttered in here. I've got all my camera equipment charging up, but this is the Indulgence Ultralight. It's the smallest chair that Nash do, and I find it to be absolutely perfect. As you can see, fits in the side of the bivvy perfectly. Whether I'm sitting on it, I can put it outside, or I can have it in here. I like to use it to, you know, charge my stuff off it, but generally, if I'm sitting down, rather than sitting on the bed chair and having a bad posture, I'll sit on this chair, lean back nice and upright. So that's covering most of this in my bivvy. This is a brilliant product to have out on the bank with you to keep all your stuff nice and organised. Again, hard tray on the top to put stuff on top, rigs and stuff when you're tying them. Now it opens up, you've got a compartment at the top there to put spares in, another one here, then you've got these little trays where you keep all your bits and bobs, and the Box Logic tackle box fits in there perfectly. Bearing in mind it does need a bit of a clean. That opens up and it's got all the bits and bobs inside. I've got my little compartment boxes with all my bits and bobs in. I've got 3 of them. I've got my scissors, all my tools, all my lines that I use now. Now this subterfuge workbox will hold all of the tackle that I'm going to need for any type of fishing, whether I'm in Europe for a week, fishing out of a boat, whether I'm stalking for 24 hours, this has got everything I need inside it. So subterfuge workbox, again, goes in the Deploy nicely as well. What else have we got? Let's exit the bivvy and have a look at the fun stuff, the rods that I use. Now, I have used the 10-foot, 3.5-pound scope rods for the last 4 or 5 years. You can cast over 100 yards with them, but they're soft enough to get nice playing action when you're playing the carp underneath the rod tip. Now, I couple up these 10-foot, 3.5-pound abbreviated scopes with the GT 8000s. They've got a very big spool which can combat your boat fishing around Europe, fishing over 200 metres. Then they're also lightweight enough to balance the rod effectively when you're fishing your standard UK venues. So the 8000's the perfect reel for them. Moving along, you can see that I'm using the Siren R4 bite alarms. Now, these are expensive, but they have multiple features which make them one of the best alarms on the market. Multiple volume settings, multiple sensitivity settings, so you can actually set it to adjust to a certain millimetre of movement if you're fishing where there's a lot of tow, flow, or you're on a boat that's rocking. So you might not need an alarm that's this advanced. You might be able to go for one of the cheaper alarms that Nash sell, like the R2 or the R3, but I've personally used the R4s for a number of years and they've never let me down. Come on, please, let's have a bite this morning. So that's the alarms, rods and reels that I'm using. Moving along to the carp care. Now, this is the fail-safe retainer sling. It's a sling, but it has got a couple of features that make it nice, and that is the fail-safe section on the side of there that you can clip into place. If you're in waders in the edge, you can clip this section on and it actually holds the carp in there, almost like a small bath, and then you unclip that to release the carp at the end. So a small couple of features there that I like about the fail-safe retainer sling, hence why I'm using that. And then we've got the inflatable unhooking mat. This folds down really small and fits underneath your rucksack, or you can keep it open like that and carry it with the strap. Comes with a waterproof cover over the top. It's nice, compact, lightweight, but because it's self-inflating, it packs down really small once you let the air out. Moving along to my landing net. Now this is a standard scope net. When I'm fishing with 6-footers and I want that really compact net, I use the Black Ops version that actually folds into two via the handle. But this one's just a one-piece handle, but it does the job for my standard fishing because it goes inside the unhooking mat or in my rod bag, and it still slides out so you can extend the handle, and it's your standard size carp fishing landing net. So that does the job there. Moving around the back of the bivvy, what have we got going on? Right, and last but not least, we have got my Barrow. Now, I'm not using the power Barrow purely because they were out of stock when I went to buy one, so I've been using this Trax Evo. Now, I have got the additional wheels on there, which helps massively when you're doing long walks. You don't have to sort of hold the weight of the Barrow, and I found this to be absolutely perfect. I can be known for taking a lot of stuff with me. Now I've finally got my driving license and, of course, the additional Barrow, so I take a lot, and this holds masses. So yeah, that's the Barrow that I've been using over the last year or so, and I'm pretty sure that is the majority of things covered. I didn't want to go into the nitty-gritties. I wanted to keep the video relatively short and fast-paced. I've covered my bivvy, I've covered my bed chair, ultralight chair, cook bag, deploy rucksack, the carp care, retaining stuff. I've talked about the rods, the reels, the alarms. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. These extreme butt locks are a game changer. You can see there, they open up, not only locking your rod into place once, but then holding that securely. That isn't going anywhere. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Support the Ripper Tackle YouTube channel. We're only just starting putting content on here. We want to supply as much information as value as we possibly can, and maybe even me and Henry will get out and do some fishing again together and post the videos up on this channel. Thanks, guys. Best of luck out on the bank. Appreciate you watching the video.